going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different, and it's not really because I want to, but it's a necessity. So we got wife's Escalade in here, and if you know anything about these, this is a 2015. It's got the 6.2 and it's got an 8L90. This one is four-wheel drive. And if you know anything about that combination, you know that the 8L90 is the weak point. So, unfortunately, I know nothing about the history of this vehicle. And when we bought it, it was fairly high mileage, and now it is very high mileage. This has almost 220,000 on it. I can't really tell by looking at it. I know it's dirty right now, but other than the dirtiness, it is very clean underneath, on top, inside, all around. So the fact that it's having trans issues isn't super surprising, but it's kind of disappointing. I mean, it sucks. Transmissions are expensive, and we use it a lot, and it's really our only main mode of transportation because I drive a service truck every day. I don't really need a vehicle, so we're going to try and get it fixed today. The 8L90s are very notorious for having a shudder. A lot of you that have been around these know that. Early on, I think the torque converter was the thought issue, and then it kind of turned to the fluid being the issue. So I have already sucked out what I can and put in new twice now, which has been about 10 quart. They say you're supposed to do it about 3 times if you do it that way and you don't do like a full flush like the dealer would. So this is my 3rd time. If this don't work, I'm pretty much onto a torque converter. Brendan came over last night and we tried to tune it to try and get a little bit better, and it's not. So we put it back to stock. It's how it was. We're going to do this last fluid change, and then I have kind of an additive that I ended up finding online that was basically made because of the 8L90 issue, and a lot of people have used it in the 8L90 and in other transmissions and had very good luck with it. So we're going to try it. The thing we're going to try, it is called Shudder Fix. About a 2-ounce tube here. They say to use this, and then if it doesn't get better, to use a second one. Use 4 ounces. We're just gonna go straight to 4 ounces because 1's good, 2's gonna be better. We're gonna try it out. I'm gonna get set up here to get the old fluid out, and we will be right back with that, and I'll show you that setup. All right, so this is the setup I'm using. Go down to Harbor Freight, get you one of these. This makes it super easy. It's well worth the money. They're not very expensive, and you can use them on anything else down the line. Really, the only other tool that you need for this, to do this, is one of these. Or you can either get one of these, or you can get like the 90-degree panel, like the little plastic rivet remover tools. Those would work as well, and I'll show you why in just a minute. But we're going to get under there, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But the first time I did this, just so that everybody knows, when I did this the first time, I sucked everything out with this, and then I actually pulled the pan, looked at the pan and make sure there wasn't a bunch of material in it, changed the filter. Everything looked really good, to be honest. The fluid was a little bit dark, but it wasn't like super crazy. So I don't really think anything clutch-wise or mechanically is wrong with this, besides possibly a torque converter. But I don't know enough about the 8L90s except for what I've researched the last 4 days to know. So I'm hoping that this will work. Let's get under there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, guys, this is the transmission here. There's the pan, engine pan up here. I got some light for you. So the only real big issue with the trans, I wouldn't even call it an issue, I mean with the pan, like getting the pan off, is the exhaust here. Goes kind of right under there. I have seen guys bend the exhaust down a little bit to get the pan out. I literally just unbolted it and like twisted it to the passenger side and it slid right out, so wasn't a big deal there. The first time I did this, I took this shield off right here. There's a bolt right there, and there's one over here on the top and one back here on the top that go down, all 10 millimeters. And the second time I did it, I did not take this off, so you don't really need to. If you got smaller hands, you can kind of get them up in there, but right up there, I don't know if you can see it very well. I'll try and get the light in here a little bit better. Kind of move it over for you. Right up in there. Let's see where we're at. Right there. Right at the top of this little, see that little bump right there? Right at the top, there's a plug. And I'll show you here. Basically, kind of, you can bend this out of your way a little bit. And then you can stick this up in there. And you can pop that top of that plug up on both sides there. I think I got it there. Really not too bad, but with the camera in your hand, it's kind of there. Okay, it popped up. Now you can just kind of push it up into the side and it'll come right out of there. Might just stick my hand up there. Kind of wiggle it around a little bit. See if I can come through the top side. There we go. Alright. So that right there, see that? That's the plug. This piece goes in, and then this pushes in, basically expands that and locks it in. So, pretty simple. That is your fill plug. So, with that out of the way, and obviously guys, do this when the exhaust isn't like 350 degrees or 600 degrees or whatever. Don't do it when it's hot, if you can't help it. I mean, the trans is 80 degrees, which is plenty for this. So now we'll take our little evacuator machine deal and we'll shove the hose down in there, and we'll kind of gauge the length of from there to here to the bottom of the pan, and we'll suck out what we can. It should be around 5 to 6 quarts, and then we'll measure it, put the new back in with that additive, and we'll see what we got. So we got the tube in the trans in there. Basically, look at your little deal here, up for evacuate, and you just start pumping. There it comes. You get a nice vacuum on it, and it'll keep pulling by itself. So let that do its thing when we get to what we can get out, and then we'll dump that out, pour the new in with the fix, and we'll put it back in. Alright, so didn't get quite 6 out of it that time. We're gonna dump this out. This is old stuff. We'll dump it out, and then we will fill up with new. We'll kind of clean it out a little bit, fill up with new, and we'll put some of that slip fix in after the first couple, and then mix up to here, and then we'll put it back in, check the level, and we'll go drive it, see what happens. It's all in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and climb under there, take that hose out, put the plug back in, and we'll start it, let it run, get it up to temp. It's trans fluid right now, probably around 75-ish degrees, so it shouldn't take long to get it up to that 95. And then while it's idling, I'll take you under there and I will show you the check plug, and all you will need for that is ratchet and 10mm. All the pan bolts are 10mm, so if you were to do the filter and take the pan off to get to the filter, obviously, and drain it and refill it like we're doing now, really all you need is a 10mm and one of the tools to get that plug out. So I'm gonna take that out, put the plug in, we'll let it get up to temp here and we'll check it. All right, got it running here. There's the miles for you. 217,788. And see right there, trans temp, 73 degrees. So we'll let that sit for a little bit. Let it warm up. Yeah, super nice car, guys. I mean, I don't remember what they call this. Kalahari, maybe? Could be way wrong. Do like that brown though. It's kind of a reddish brown color, like that interior color. Exterior color, I think they call it gray silk metallic. Nice color, different. But yeah. So we got it full, got the plug back in. Once it warms up a little bit, we'll slide under it and see where we're at. Alright, so I don't know if you can see that, but trans temp 95 right now. So we're gonna go ahead and climb under there. So again, exhaust is right here. It's hot, be careful. But the plug is right there. It's got a little standpipe in it inside of the pan, and the top of the standpipe is the level of the fluid. So take this out. Hopefully my little pan here is in the right spot based on my eyeballs. Kind of like a claw machine, you know, you just gotta judge it. And then you take this out. And it's not dripping out, so we'll need to add a little bit to it. All right, guys, went ahead and put the rest of that quart in that I didn't put in, and trans temp is still 100 degrees, so we're gonna go ahead and check one more time. I'm sure since it was kind of barely dripping out, maybe that it's probably way over full now, but if it is, at least you'll be able to see it pour out like I'm talking about, and see it start to drip, and we'll go ahead and put it back in after that. So let's see what we got here. Yep, there it is. My pan was in the right spot. You can see it pouring out there. It'll start to slow down here in a minute. Probably literally only needed like probably a teaspoon more. We went ahead and put half a quart in it. So we'll let it slow down, and it's starting to slow down already, you can hear it. I might pour it back into that other quart just to see how much we actually didn't need. Starting to slow down now, starting to drip just a little bit. So when that stream stops and it starts to drip, I'll put this back in and tighten it up, and we'll be good. There. I'd almost call that a drip. I'm gonna call that a drip right there. Not really a steady stream, so I'll go ahead and tighten that up. Wipe down some stuff down here just around that spot. And yeah, go drive this thing. There's C10 up there, if anybody's been wondering. It ain't been in the shop. It's been spending the night outside. So we're in here. I don't know if you'll be able to see me, but I'm honestly gonna say that my expectations are low. I'll just put that out there. And it's not because I don't think it's a good product or anything like that, but the shuttering just seemed pretty severe for a product like that to work. Now, I've gone about 15 feet, so obviously it's not going to be immediate, I wouldn't think. We're going to take it for a drive. So here goes nothing. And I know that I probably should have took you guys for a drive before we did this, because you guys don't know what it sounds like, what it feels like, and it's dark, and you know, I get it, but we're not going to be able to feel anything on the gravel. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. We got about 1.5 miles-ish to get to the pavement, and maybe we'll feel something there, and maybe it'll be gone. So we'll see. All right, I suppose this is the moment of truth. If it's going to be immediate, this is where it's going to be. See what happens. So I don't know if you guys can feel it, or well, obviously you can't feel it. I don't know if you can hear it. It's still shuddering a little bit. It's still got some vibration to it, but it is way, way better than it was, and I am kind of amazed at that, honestly. Here we go. That 1-2 shift was a little rough. You can kind of hear it there. I know it doesn't sound that great. Like, it sounds like it's still doing it quite a bit, and it is, but it's better than it was. So I'm hoping that maybe after some miles, that 7 to 8 was a little rough. I assume that's what shift that was. I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't really know how to feel about it. It feels like it's better, but maybe that's a little bit of placebo, telling myself that it's fixed. Yeah. I don't know. We'll do one more, just because I get kind of mixed up around in there. There ain't nobody on the road, so might as well. See if I kind of, yeah, it sounds like we're driving over rumble strips almost. $51, $52, $53, waiting for that 7-8. $56, $57, $60. There's a 7-8, and that one was really, really good. So I don't know, guys. We'll see. We got a long trip with it this weekend, and as much as I hate that, it is what it is. We don't really have a choice. So we'll take that trip this weekend and see what it does, and I'll kind of report back on the next video and just let you know. But as of right now, guys, like, for me, those 2 tubes of Shudder Fix, they were like $12 a piece. So if you got an issue with an 8L90, then it's like slightly shuddering or just starting to kind of give you notice, by all means, throw it in there. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. It's not like it's stop leak. It's not like it's something gummy that's gonna get in places and stop stuff up. I mean, it's the same viscosity and everything. It's just a bunch of friction modifiers. So it's basically trying to keep that torque converter from slipping. So I would say try it, do it. Just from this one, I mean, it was pretty aggressive and it's calmed down a lot. So I'm hoping within, I mean, we've driven at 217 788 when we first started the video, and it's got 217 800 right now. So 12 miles. I mean, it could need another 20 to 40 miles before it all kind of gets where it needs to go. So I don't know, I'm fairly impressed by it for what it is. It's kind of a snake oil, if you will, but there had a lot of really good reviews, and gotta say, I can't leave a bad review. So try it, guys, see what you think. That's probably gonna do it for me tonight. I gotta get inside, get showered, and get to bed, because I gotta get up in about 5 hours. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I know this was kind of some different content. I know there's a lot of talking, but if you own an 8L90, you know kind of what the deal is. And if you don't know what the deal is and you own one, well, hopefully this kind of helps you a little bit and gets you kind of looking into some preventative maintenance, if possible. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you very, very soon on the next one. See you later.